played the soundbite. You said they were in the Oval Office cooking up the scheme. How do you know they cooked up a scheme in the Oval Office?
Because they came to Trump Tower the next day. And first of all, January 5th, 2017 ends up being a very important date.
How do you know they cooked up a scheme in the Oval Office?
Midpoint of his tenure, because they came to Trump Tower the next day. And first of all, January 5th, 2017
cooking up the scheme.
important date.
How do you know they cooked up a scheme in the Oval Office?
Because they came to Trump Tower the next day. And first of all, January 5th,
cooking up the scheme.
important date.
How do you know they cooked up a scheme?
And Jim Comey, the FBI director, didn't come for 2 months, but he came on January 6th as part of the intelligence briefing. And he was tasked to then afterwards sort of pull aside President-elect Trump and mention this ridiculous dossier. Let me remind everybody, Russian dossier, a fancy French word for a load of crap. And that's exactly what it ended up being. And yet, so you can see what's being mentioned about January 5th. The next day they go to Trump Tower. I was just discussing this with Hope Hicks recently because we're two of the only people left here who were involved in this day's events. We had gone with the president to a different briefing all the way downtown in Manhattan, got back, he had the intelligence briefing, Comey pulls this nonsense, and then they all start talking to the media. Look at the timeline. Instead of helping us to have a peaceful transfer in the greatest democracy the world has ever known, they were doing this. And if they weren't, then I want to apply to them the same standard that was applied to all of us and President Trump during the Russia collusion nonsense. Guilty until proven innocent. Tell us you weren't cooking up the scheme. What do you have to hide? Stop insulting everybody, John Brennan, who's butthurt that you got your security clearance taken away from President Trump in the summer of 2018. And if you've got nothing to hide, then come forward and explain why Americans should not be concerned that this is what you were doing while you should have been helping us to have a peaceful transition. Look, it's one thing that they didn't want Donald Trump to become the president. It's quite another, drum roll please, that all these folks, their enablers in the mainstream media never expected Trump to win. They could not get over that shock. And remember, there have been other reports that people were declassifying intelligence all over town to try to pipe it out there before we got here. So I think people have a ton of questions. We went through 2 years of the Russia collusion, delusion, and it went to nothing. So can't we just have a minute, everybody, to find out what happened here? Let the Department of Justice and others do what they're doing. Let John Durham do his work. I've never met the man. We don't even discuss that here. But I'll be a curious citizen like everybody else to see what he uncovers.
Kellyanne, let's talk about the Democrats' wish list for the next stimulus or relief money. They want $1,200 for everyone, and that includes certain undocumented immigrants. $3.6 billion for mail-in voting. Republicans are not in favor of that. $20 million for arts and humanity, $100 million for domestic violence prevention, bank loans and financial services for cannabis businesses. Here's Nancy Pelosi.
And we're saying, okay, here's our offer. Let's see where you are. Sadly, though, Leader McConnell said, we have not yet felt the urgency of acting immediately. He wants us to just pause. He wants us to just pause. But families know that hunger doesn't take a pause.
And don't let a crisis go to waste, right? I mean, this is supposed to be coronavirus money, and they're throwing in all this other stuff.
Right. Well, she's got a problem not just with Leader McConnell in the White House. She has a problem within her own conference. You have more moderate Democratic members, at least moderate. They represent moderate and Trump-Pence districts, some of them. Elisa Slotkin, Kendra Horn. They've come out in the last day or so saying that they probably will not vote for this package and calling into question what's in it and saying this is no time for partisan politics. We need, quote, bipartisan, bicameral